Kevin Jackson Radio Show.
Welcome, everybody. Kevin Jackson here. It's a Kevin Jackson Show. You know what? I didn't talk about the State of the Union, and I needed to. Here's what I will tell you about the State of the Union. President Trump covered a lot of it in Davos. Not a whole lot of surprises. I'm going to get into some things that we do know that I found very interesting in terms of the State of the Union. But what I also want to do is I want to review some of the things that Barack Obama said. There was a synopsis done of all the promises that this guy made year upon year. It is mind-boggling how many of these promises that were not kept, never followed up on. And do you know the media never said a word? Here's what I'm curious about. Are they going to go back and look at some of the promises? And we've got them. I broke them out by year. I want you to listen to these promises, and I want you to ask yourself, what didn't happen? Then, and we're not going to play them back to back because it's 13 minutes with people just cutting them down to what he said. 13 plus minutes, almost 14 minutes. But what's interesting is that you'll hear the same ones over and over. We got to implement comprehensive immigration reform. And you go, okay, you said that last year, 2 years ago, 3 years ago. And it is a pipe dream beyond imagination. And it was everything people wanted to hear. And I'm going to tell you, I don't recall a single time the media came back and said, you know what, you promised this last year. You said this was going to happen. By year 7, and you'd heard the State of the Union, you would think that the media would say, man, please, Negro, please, you have not lived up to any of these promises. Wait till you hear them and you'll know what I'm talking about. Now, let me ask you this. Do you think the left is going to give Donald Trump a pass? Donald Trump has been in office a year. He's done miraculous things. And I'm going to tell you, I'm going to warn you about the stock market. It's the same warning that I gave during the time of Obama when he was printing money to make the stock market, do what it does. Donald Trump inherited a stock market that was on a bubble. And I'm talking about it was ready to pop. It's ready to go at any minute. And because of all the things he's done, the stock market went on steroids. It's been exuberance by many people. They feel good about, what's going on in the market and had to get on. I'm in it myself. All right. But it's a dangerous proposition because a lot of the things that have to happen, or quite frankly, it's going to take a Herculean effort to reach the potential that is now in the stock market. That bubble hadn't had enough time to settle back before it started to continue to expand. And that's a problem. The bigger problem is Donald Trump shouldn't be taking credit for it the way that he is because a lot of very, very wealthy people want to see that bubble pop. Now, imagine it this way. He continues to grow the economy, growing jobs and things like this. That's wonderful. But the stock market starts to retract. And it goes down to, say, 23,000. Still a good number. Much higher than when Barack Obama was in office, but very low in comparison to the 26 and change that it was at. People are going to have to start looking for value again at some point. And Trump's economy hasn't had enough time to recover. Now, I'm in the stock market, but the best thing that could possibly happen is for it to settle. Not seeing the growth. Now, it retracted big time the other day. And I don't know where it's going to settle at. I'm just telling you, be careful with that. That's why I said Barack Obama never, until the very end, he never celebrated the stock market. He celebrated it at the end because he was leaving. He was like, what are you going to do? No matter what happens, I'm done. That's my number. I got it at this much. I grew it to this much. So what? It cost us $10 trillion. Who couldn't grow the stock market from whatever the number was when he got it to whatever it was when he ended with $10 trillion? A trained monkey, an untrained monkey could have grown the stock market to those numbers. But now Donald Trump inherits a $10 trillion void. Paper money. Well, $8 trillion of it paperless. Not backed by anything. It's just, I should say, it's vapor. Not backed by anything. not a gold standard, not more productivity in the American system under Obama. Now, what Trump's done is he started filling that. But has he filled $8 trillion, $10 trillion worth? No. He talks about, well, we've got $6 trillion in the market. That's okay. That's fictitious. We have $2 trillion that came back from government deregulation. Government taking out the bureaucracy out of business. We probably got a couple trillion that came through tax breaks. That's not going to be felt right away because the Treasury is going to suffer because it isn't getting that money in, and that money isn't being reclaimed yet in the new businesses and the tax base that the business is being created. So you're going to have that void for a bit. Now, you're still going to have regulations cutting some other things, but Trump has to be very careful of the timing of these things. The other thing, not the second, but whatever number I'm on, he's got to look at is the interest rates. He can't see these interest rates creep up. The new Fed person, the chairman that's going to replace Yellen, needs to be aware of how to hold those numbers firm in a growing economy. And balance that with T-bills and other, things that the government's going to need to take on certain debts. So it's a complicated model. Now, I like that Trump is in charge of it, but I'm just saying what he should be saying about the stock market is, I inherited a mess from Barack Obama, a fictitious market. That market has continued its expansion. But you never know when that market is going to correct, and there are too many people that are against me who can influence the market. Keep that in mind. Anyway, we got a lot to talk about today. State of the Union. What do you think about the State of the Union? When I think about State of the Union addresses, I don't get all excited about them. It's just I don't think I would watch one for Obama just to tweet and make people laugh and get new Twitter followers. But other than that, I didn't care because he's lying. He lied about the State of the Union. And when we come back, we'll come in with one of his clips and we'll discuss it. Each one of them. And then we'll weave in a little bit of President Trump's. But I don't want us to take our eye off the ball. Our eye has to stay on FBI, McCabe, the Democrat gamesmanship that's going on, why it will not work, and it's all because of you. Anyway, as I said, we've got a lot to talk about. Kevin Jackson's who you're listening to, The Kevin Jackson Show, KJRadio.com.
This is The Kevin Jackson Radio Show.
Do you owe back taxes to the IRS or state? The secret to avoiding the IRS nightmare is to seek professional representation. My friends at Security Tax Associates provide the most cost-effective and ethical representation in the industry while helping to avoid seizures, levies, and wage garnishments. Security Tax Associates is here to ensure that the appropriate steps are taken to permanently eliminate any possibility of future tax burdens once and for all. For a free, no-obligation consultation, contact Security Tax Associates, 844-779-4177. That's 844-779-4177. 844-779-4177. Or visit them at securitytaxassociates.com.
Beth Cook Moranville, author of Closer Than Your Breath, a book of hope.
Hope, that wonderful, wonderful four-letter word that you may feel completely out of. I wrote this book to give you great hope. It's not too late. If fetal position is an all too familiar place for you, I understand. If the next 60 seconds are too long, this book is for you. Wherever you are right now, whether you're dealing with divorce or death or sickness, take hope. You are going to make it through this pain. Don't roll your eyes. I've walked this road and I know it. The best is yet to come.
Closer Than Your Breath, a book of hope from author and speaker Beth Cook Moranville, can be found on Amazon.com or Kindle.com. For more information, visit closerthanyourBreath.com or on Facebook at Closer Than Your Breath.